It's not about winning or losing! It's about me taking you on right here and right now!
What does it truly mean to be brave? To have the courage to stand up for yourself? What would you have to do to be as brave as Mumen Rider when he fought the Deep Sea King? We might have different definitions of bravery, but I think we can all agree that Mumen Rider is the very symbol of it. Even though his character is a parody of Kamen Rider, he is still in a league of his own when it comes to his bravery. But is there a way for us to have this kind of bravery in ourselves? Well, today I'd like to take you with me as we try to understand what it means to be brave, what we can learn from Mumen Rider, and how we can apply the things that we learn from him so that we can be brave just like him. Because whether we're in a world where superpowers exist or a world without, heroes are defined by their bravery to protect people and do what's right. Now let's begin by first understanding what it means to be brave. We usually associate being brave with being fearless of our fears. Whether that be the fear of embarrassing ourselves or the fear of talking in public, we face fears on a daily basis and in big moments. You might not see it in the anime, but I'm willing to bet that even Mumen Rider has fears. After all, he's risking his life to protect innocent people from monsters and bad guys. But how can he keep being brave while having fears of his own? Well, you might have heard of the term fearless being linked to bravery, but I'd argue that being fearless and being brave are two different things. Being fearless means having no fear at all, and I mean no emotion towards anything that remotely scares us. While being brave is having fears and accepting them so that they can motivate us to take action to accomplish a certain task or goal. In episode 8, we can see that Mumen Rider is persistent in going to City J to help save the citizens from the sea folks, even though some other heroes try to persuade him to turn back. I think we can see that in this episode that Mumen Rider is taking action on his fears of the citizens' safety. We can tell because he immediately went to the shelter after he arrived in City J. He didn't wait for backup or other S-ranked heroes because he fears that they might not get there on time. And he was right. If he hadn't arrived sooner, Genos would have been killed, and not long after, so would the citizens of City J. Fear is a necessary feeling or motivator for us to take action to achieve something or to prevent something from happening. Mumen Rider accepted his fears and acted with it to arrive as fast as possible and help protect the citizen as best he could. But even so, how do you act with fear against a monster like the Deep Sea King? A monster that could very well be defined as death itself. Well, in Mumen Rider's case, we know that he immediately crashed his bike onto the Deep Sea King's back right after he arrived. He wasted no time to think about his opponent or the danger that comes with fighting it. He was only focused on 3 things during this scene, and his focus towards them is what helped him become brave enough to act with his fears. His first focus is on the safety of the citizens and the actions needed to ensure that, whether that be tackling the monster or putting his body on the line. Basically, he focused on things that mattered most and nothing else. In his case, it's the men, women, and children in the shelter. In our cases, this could be our dreams, goals, family, partners, and so on. So whenever you're afraid to act, focus on the things that matter to you most and do what you can to the best of your ability. This is the second thing that Mumen Rider focuses on.
I'm too weak for Class B. I'm not good enough. I know that much. I'm aware that I have no chance of beating you. No one needs to tell me anything like that!
I think he knows that he isn't as strong as the heroes in Class B and above, but he also knows that it doesn't make him less of a hero. As humans, not only can we do our best, but we can also go above and beyond. When Mumen Rider gets hit by the Deep Sea King for the first time, no one expects him to get up and keep fighting. After all, he's just human. But he still decides to get up 2 more times because he focuses on going above his limits while he's able to, even when death seems close. The more focused you are at giving your all at something, be it a goal or a dream, the braver you will be in taking the next step. Now, while we can't push our best to the absolute highest limits, there are going to be moments where we can only do what we can do, and the result might not be what we were expecting, and that's completely okay. But even so, we still have to keep moving forward, and Mumen Rider's last point of focus will help you realize that.
What are you babbling on and on about? Begging for your life?
And yet, I must try. It's not about winning or losing! It's about me taking you on right here and right now!
Mumen Rider's last point of focus ties into his first, where to him, his first focus is on the safety of the citizens, and his last is his focus on the consequences if he doesn't save them. So wait, his last point of focus is his fear if he fails to protect them? Yeah, it is. Because remember, fear is a necessary and powerful motivator. Besides, how can you fight like hell and give it your all without the fear of death or the fear of losing people you care about? This is why he kept getting up and fighting the Deep Sea King, because if he doesn't, then the Deep Sea King would have killed Genos and the citizens inside the shelter. So to him, it really wasn't about winning the fight or losing it. It was more about ensuring the safety of the citizens, and that's why he had the bravery to fight right then and there. In our lives, we all have something important to us. It could be a dream, people we want to take care of, careers we want for ourselves, and so much more. Bravery in pursuing or protecting these things is something that we all need to develop in order for us to take that first step and to keep taking the next. I think the last one is important because it'll help us develop bravery in ourselves to take action as soon as possible and make each action count. Because down the road, we might lose interest in things we want to pursue, the people we want to take care of might leave earlier than expected, or worse, we might even die before we ever achieve our goals or dreams. That is why Mumen Rider was brave enough to pedal as fast as possible to City J despite the danger. That's why he was brave enough to fight the Deep Sea King when he arrived despite no backup. And that's why he was brave enough to put his body on the line despite there's a chance that he might die. So to be brave is to accept our fears and use them as powerful motivators to focus on the things that matter, on the actions needed to achieve or protect them, on going above our limits while we're able to, and on the consequences that follow if we don't take action. I think Mumen Rider is hands down the best hero in the series because he showed us what a real hero is like and what the true meaning of bravery is. Even though he has less screen time than Saitama, there were a lot of things that I've learned from him, and I hope through this video you did too. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I really hope you enjoyed it. If you like this type of content, where I deep dive into anime characters and what we can learn from them, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And as always, stay awesome.